Next, we head to Guinea-Bissau. The military have formed a government after taking control of the West African nation last week. But as the junta consolidates power, condemnation of the coup widens. The junta this weekend tapped 28 people, including five army officers and 4 women, to run the country. But this came as the African Union suspended Guinea-Bissau with immediate effect, reiterating a zero tolerance on unconstitutional changes of government.
The African Union immediately suspend the Republic of Guinea-Bissau from participating in all activities of the Union, its organs and institutions, until constitutional order is restored in the country.
Meanwhile, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres expressed grave concern. He strongly condemned the coup, calling for the immediate and unconditional restoration of constitutional order. Major General Horta, who was sworn in as the country's transitional president and the nation's new prime minister, remained defiant following the formation of the new government.
Firstly, rigor, and discipline in managing what we have in common, particularly public funds. Secondly, the fight against corruption and drug trafficking. Zero tolerance for this scourge.
It is with a strong sense of responsibility that we today assume our role as members of the transitional government of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. This is an executive body established under the authority of the Military High Command for the restoration of national security and public order, whose patriotic mission is to temporarily lead the governance of our country in the current circumstances.
The military seized power a day before the provisional results for the November 23rd presidential election were to be announced. Their power seizure was justified as a counter to a plot by drug lords to capture the Guinean democracy. Major General Horta was sworn in as the country's transitional president. He is considered to have been close with ousted President Umaro Embalo in recent years. And while Embalo claimed victory in the pre-coup election, so did the opposition. And the opposition, along with political figures from Senegal and Nigeria, have hinted at the coup potentially being staged, a move they allege helped allow the government to retain office. The military suspended the electoral process, blocking results of the election, and the main opposition party said their headquarters were invaded by a heavily armed militia. Meanwhile, clashes broke out between young people and police in the capital's suburbs. Now, away from Guinea-Bissau, ousted President Embalo arrived in the Republic of Congo. Having been briefly arrested on the day of the military takeover, Embalo left the country to Senegal. But from there, he appears to have since arrived in Brazzaville on a private jet, according to a source close to the Congolese government. Embalo is rumoured to be close with the Congolese president. The situation in Guinea-Bissau, even ahead of this coup, was difficult. Crippling poverty, chaotic administration and political turmoil have made the country the perfect breeding ground for corruption and drug smuggling. Some analysts have dubbed the country a narco-state, with accusations that some senior politicians and military officials may be involved in the hard drugs trade. And this latest coup is the 5th since the nation's independence from Portugal in 1974. Several other attempts had been foiled. The new leaders have called for a 1-year transitional period, but international pressure is mounting as domestic tensions continue to increase in one of the continent's poorest nations. We will continue to monitor the developments in Guinea-Bissau and beyond as the junta look ahead at this time of uncertainty.
They promised glory. They delivered fear. They shaped nations. They scarred generations. From brutal purges to propaganda machines, from stolen power to violent falls from the throne. Welcome to The Dictator, a series that strips away the myth and then exposes the men behind the tyranny. History remembers their power. Firstpost reveals their truth.